All right, welcome back, everybody, to Rome. Oh, chat. I don't know. Today, it's been the unluckiest day. And I just want to say, I feel you. Especially for those in the Philippines who have stayed up this late and it hasn't even started yet. I have also stayed up. So, yeah, I feel your pain. So what happened between Osaka's match and this? Because it doesn't seem like... I mean, there was only 3 matches between that and this. What happened? Well, a lot happened. It rained. And then every match before this one went 3 sets. Every single match before this one decided to go the distance. So that's why it's like, I want to say 4 hours late, maybe 4.5, 5 hours late. Yeah. So here we are. And there's no one there, which is a bit of a shame. The stadium's empty. I don't even know what time it is in Rome. I'm going to guess it's probably 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. It's 9:30 p.m. Okay, so it is really late. So yeah, so that's what happened. The rain delay was probably the biggest problem, but then the match that got delayed went to a tiebreak, and then the one after that went 3 sets, and the one after that went 3 sets, and then the one after that went 3 sets. And now we're here, and this one could go 3 sets. So I appreciate everybody sticking around, and if and losing sleep, but that's what we do for this sport. We lose our minds and our sleep. Raducanu, by the way, is up a set and a break. We're not watching her because of this match. And then tomorrow, by the way, the schedule tomorrow is actually pretty top heavy. So the early matches are the better ones at this rate. So we'll see what happens. And then after the first couple of matches, it's pretty quiet. So if you're from America or you're from Canada, you probably have to get an early morning if you want to watch the good matches. But yeah, pretty. It's not a very good crowd. It's like I could count how many people there are. There is no one there. What's the capacity for center court? Well, this is like court 3, I think. So I don't think it's not center court. Oh, man. We're wide awake for Alex game. Good. Love to see it. So tomorrow, Swiatek's playing. Fonseca's playing Marozsan at the same time, and then Osaka versus Badosa is also starting early. And then after that, it's pretty quiet. So it's the first couple of matches that are ones to watch. So yeah. So it's a pretty busy start to the day. And then it quiets down after the first couple hours. Now, let me go through some results while we've been away. On the men's side, so the reason why this went forever. So Muller versus Lehechka in 3 sets. Cocciaretto Avanescu in 3 sets. Kudermetova, I think, won in straights, but it was close. Let me check. Kudermetova won in a close straight sets. And then Pissarro just beat Zhang in a 3-setter. So there was three 3-setters in a close straight sets to get to here. Thompson beat Pirikar. Norrie beat O'Connell. Carabelli beat Busta. Lajovic beat Nishioka. Jera beat Echeverry. Comasagna beat Altmaier. And that's all that's really going on there. Also, Grigspor beat Kecmanovic on the center court. Center court was mainly for the Italians today. So tomorrow. Center court tomorrow. If the website updates. Nope. Okay. AT website doesn't want to work. Cool. That's whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't want to know it anyway. That's fine. So yeah, tomorrow we have Swiatek taking on Cocciaretto. Osaka Badosa's tomorrow as well. Kruger versus Pegula is also a match. Sun versus Paolini. Kvitova Jabeur is also a match. So there's some interesting matchups there. And then on the men's side, Marozsan versus Fonseca is the match. Tiano Pelk is also maybe an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. But We are starting to get second round. So Komisanya versus Runa. Lajovic versus Alcaraz. Nori Medvedev. Muller Tsitsipas. So a couple of interesting matchups. Potentially. So yeah. So that's where we're at. Yeah, Raducanu is playing now. She is up a set and a break. Yastremska is playing Potapova. So yeah. Gauff is good for Eala. Yeah, Gauff and Eala are apparently playing doubles together. So I don't know when that's happening, but we might watch that. It just depends. Things get pretty hard to. Can't watch everything. Things get a little hectic once the seeds play. So we'll see whether or not whether we watch that. I mean, I want to watch that, but it'll just depend on the schedule, as all things do. So yeah, the schedule for tomorrow. I don't know why the ATP website's not working. It's broken. Okay, so here's the schedule for tomorrow. Where is the schedule? Where the hell is the schedule? Players are still not out on court yet, which is a little bit crazy. I saw the schedule and now it's gone. Here it is. Okay, so tomorrow we've got Osaka versus Badosa, Jabeur versus Kvitova, Marijan versus Fonseca. We've got Cocchiaretta versus Swiatek. We've got Paolini versus Sun. Later in the night, Mukova Bronzetti. That's an interesting match. We've got Kalinskaya Stearns is kind of interesting. Tien versus Opelka. Ostapenko Shrimkova could be interesting too. Because Penko coming off that loss last week, and Shrimkova's been good at times over the last kind of 12 months. So yeah. So that's what's going on. I'm excited about Coco against Mboko. Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting to see if we watch that in a couple of days. What players bring in the most views? Djokovic. The greatest player of all time brings the most people to the sport. So now that we've kind of got a couple of days under our belt. So tomorrow, on the women's side, we've got the bottom half of the draw. On the men's side, it's the top half. So it's going to alternate. So that means if we want to figure out when players are playing, so tomorrow we've got the top half of the men, which is not yet the seeds, so the top half of the unseeded players. The bottom half of the ladies, which is going to be Swiatek. Then on Friday, we're going to have Sabalenka. She's going to play. We've got Coco Gauff. We've got Andreeva. And on the men's side, it's going to be Alcaraz. It's going to be Runa. It's going to be Draper. So Friday's going to be pretty crazy. Then Saturday is going to be Sinner. So Saturday night, Jannik Sinner, that's when he makes his return. He has to. It's going to be Saturday night. And then that means also the bottom half of the ladies again. So it could be Saturday, could be, Paolini versus Jabeur. Crazy match. Ostapenko Mukova could be a third round match we see on Saturday. Swiatek Collins could be Saturday. But Saturday is for Sinner. So Sinner on Saturday, that is really he is the guy. Sinner on Saturday. Rude's playing on Saturday as well. So is Mensik. So is Demonor. But really, for the top half of the draw for the men, it's all about Jannik Sinner. It's all about Jannik Sinner. So it'll be Jannik Sinner and then all the ladies' matches. That's what Saturday's going to look like. If you're wondering what is the weekend going to be like. Are you going to cover the news or hockey still tonight? Yeah, Kevin, every time, it doesn't get funnier, mate. Every day. You're probably chuckling away, but it doesn't get any funnier. Again, we're still waiting. I don't know what we're waiting for. Maybe, okay, the ball kid's coming out now. Here we go. Saturday is the day, no work. Yep. Saturday is the day. Still love Sinner. He's my number one. Was just an intriguing question if anyone knew about what? I already know the casualty once Sinner plays. Yeah. Yastrzemski's up 3-1 against Potapova. Yep, winner plays Sabalenka. So that could be fun. Hey, Andrews, thank you for the 3 months. Thanks, Cam family, for my membership. Best channel on YouTube. Love this community. Hey, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 3 months as a tier 3. Sorry, tier 2. And thank you, Justin, for the 11 months. Appreciate that as well. Players are coming out on court. By the way, chat, I'm going to count how many people are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, they've changed it. I'm going to guess there's probably about 50 people there. And maybe that's a little generous because maybe some of the people that are there in the crowd will actually work there. So 50, I don't know if there's 50 fans, but there's probably about 50 people. Some are fans, some are, security. Some are there to clean the stands after the people leave. Most of them are 50 people and some staff. Like it's yeah. It's kind of sad. Being a 9:30 on a Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dude. Do you know if tickets are expensive? I don't know. I do not know. People are watching the Tyro versus Grant match. Yeah, there's probably more Italians going on. Maybe that's why there's no one here. But Grant's American, so I don't know why would they be over there. There's no Italians playing, so I don't know why there is people on here. Basara fans went crazy, and then they left. They didn't stick around. Grant's Italian. Why has she got an American flag next to her name? That's weird. Wait, was she American and then she converted to Italy? Why does it say on my sheet that she's American? Oh, she played for America until now. Oh, was that who? Oh no. That's who is this? 17-year-old who played for America for 4 years and now she's only 17 and she has already played for 2 different countries. That's crazy. '24 Wimbledon champion. 2024 Australian Open doubles champion. Okay. Made the semifinals of French last year. So she's like... So wait, why did she go... She was born in Italy, but then must have grown up in America? And then now is back to Italy. Okay. So, okay. All right, cool. Cool. So that's where everyone is, because she's 5-all and a third. Cam, did you see my countrywoman on Rescue get up to a good side? Oh, yeah, she killed it. So that's where everyone is. That's why they're not here. They're all watching her for obvious reasons. Her father's an ex-basketball player? Nice. Today is Dasha's birthday. It is. It's Kazakinda's birthday. We love that for Dasha. All right. Well, hopefully after that match is over, they'll make their way over here because this match is also... not only is it because of a uber popular player, but it's also a very good matchup. Has the game finally started? They're warming up, but it will start in a minute. It's 3. Yeah, I know it's 4 a.m. in the Philippines. I've been up all night. It's been hard to figure out what to do in the middle of the night. Just sitting around, bloody trying to figure out things to watch. And I was watching just documentaries the whole night, just chilling, watching music videos, playing Mario. I mean, it just. Oh, man, it was brutal, chat. Just hoping that some of these matches would just finish in straight sets. Andreescu versus Vekic, second round. Whoo, that's crazy. Did Raducanu just win? Nope, she just got broken. Okay. She got broken when serving for the match. Okay. What's my favorite coffee? I don't mind a cappuccino with an extra shot. How is my dog? My dog is great. She's asleep. If this tournament was in Poland, the first rounds would be a full stadium. Oh, yeah, for sure. See, this is another problem with these 2-week Masters is that the first round, people just don't make the effort, I don't think, to come out. You know? Like the first few days, not only are we kind of like watching one match at a time, but it's also like the fans are just kind of like not interested. Maybe only for the Italians, but if you're not Italian, you're not getting any. I mean, this is Eala versus Kostyuk is one of the best first round matches of the tournament, and they've got like a handful of people watching. You know, it's like it's crazy. I mean, this should have been on center court, personally, I think. But yeah, I mean, yeah. And if everybody's watching Grant and nobody's watching anyone else, then that means there's like currently 6 empty stadiums and 1 full stadium at the moment. I can't check, but that's what I'm going to guess. That there is. Actually, I can, maybe I can watch. Like, is Raducanu Stadium full? Is there any, like, are they people watching that? By the way, Bencic with Sakari. Sakari got the win. Bencic had to retire. I'm not sure why, but she did. Which is disappointing, but hopefully nothing serious. I mean, Raducanu's court looks pretty empty too. Why does Sakari qualify? Because she's 80 in the world when the entry list was cut off. What about the men's matches? Is it empty as well? No men are playing at the moment. There are no men's matches. I always support Monfils and Svitolina, Carlos. Okay, cool. Grant's game has a lot of people. Yeah, because she's Italian, so clearly there's going to be a lot of people there. Boo versus Didiri is supposedly next. Yeah, that's going to have a lot of people too, because Didiri is American, Italian, right? But even then, I mean, look, Grant, the stadium is fuller than the other 2 stadiums we're watching, that I'm watching right now, but it's still got a lot of empty seats. It's not like, packed out. It's probably 70% maybe, which is good, better than the other courts, but it's definitely not sold out. And Raducanu's court's got no one either. I mean, this is like... I mean, it's a bit... it's hard to watch. It's a bit... We got way more people here than they do in that stadium. We could fill the stadium, chat. Chat, who you got winning this one? I'm going to go Eala in 3. I don't know. I just feel like Kostyuk might be a little nervous. I don't know. Eala's a scary player right now. Nobody wants to play Eala. Kostyuk probably should win this match, though, because the clay court tennis she's better, more experienced. But I don't know. I just feel like Eala will surprise Kostyuk like she's surprised a lot of players. As first one goes to Kostyuk, love 15. Love 15. As Eala serves again. Into the forehand of Kostyuk. Return goes to the back end of Eala. Kostyuk forehand into the back end of Eala, who hits it down the line and long, and it's love 30. Love 30. WTA said this is a blockbuster. It is. So don't let the crowd fool you. It's a blockbuster. It's just not a crowd. It's just not drawing the crowd. It's just that Italy don't realize it's a blockbuster. As we're to serve now the backhand of Kostyuk. Eala forehand. Into the Kostyuk backhand. Eala with the forehand down the line. Kostyuk gets it on the stretch. Hits it long. 15-30. Like, it's a blockbuster, but just it's in the wrong city. I think that's probably the best way of explaining it. This is definitely a must-watch match. It's just not people in Rome don't see that. You know? 15:30. As a return goes to forehand of Eala. Forehand from Kostyuk to the backhand of Eala. As Kostyuk forehand on the stretch. Eala's got it into the open court, but slice from Kostyuk. Into the forehand of Eala. That's a great shot. Kostyuk gets there with a slice forehand again. Eala backhand down the line. Kostyuk gets there, but in the net. 30-all. That was a patient point by Eala. It'll be interesting when that Grant match is over, whether or not people go to Raducanu or they go to Eala's court. I think if you're going, I would be going to, well, if Raducanu goes 3, go to her court and then go to Eala after. But that Grant match just finished. So now we'll see where all the people go. Unless they're going to stick around and watch center court again because there's more. Actually, no, they're going to stick around. They're going to stick around because the Deary. So they're not going to move. They're going to just stay there. They're not moving. Nobody cares. All right, 40-30. 40-30. As it is served now, the back end of Kostyuk. Return goes into the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Kostyuk is a winner, and we get to deuce. By the way, chat, when I was watching television while I was waiting for this match to start, I was thinking about like nostalgic things from like the 2000s and the 90s. I don't know why. I'm just in a nostalgic kind of mood these days. I feel like, there must be a podcast that talks about like early 2000s stuff and late 90s stuff. Chat, what are some early 2000s things that you remember? What are some of the things from the early 2000s that you remember? I remember flip phones. As at a backhand on the stretch from Eala, volley from Kostyuk's a good one, but Eala gets there with a forehand, down the line winner, advantage. What are some of the early 2000s things you remember? I remember boy bands, Limp Bizkit, yeah, Kobe Bryant, flip phones, Motorola Razors, the OC, the Millennium, yeah, all that, like that crazy shit. CD players and MP3s, Evanescence, yeah. All right, advantage Eala. Nokia 5110. I had a 3310. Blackberries, yeah, true. All right, advantage Eala. Napster, yeah, good one. And we've got a forehand now to the backhand of Kostyuk. Forehand now from Eala in the net, back to deuce. Y2K bug, yeah. What about like early 2000s though? Landlines? Yeah, that was sort of 90s. Nintendo was 90s. I remember like the PS2, Xbox coming out, playing Xbox, playing Game Boy Color, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z. First has a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Kostyuk. Return goes the backhand of Eala, who hits it long, and it's advantage Kostyuk. Jackass. Did anyone watch Viva La Bam? My brother loved that. We loved that show back in the day. It sort of spawned from Jackass. Desperate Housewives? Oh yeah, that was on TV. I remember that. Pierce Brosnan as Bond? True. Advantage Kostyuk. As it is served now the backhand of Kostyuk. Forehand now from Eala. Again to the backhand of Kostyuk as Eala forehand on the stretch. Goes down the line. Kostyuk gets it and hits it long. And we're back to deuce. The Chappelle Show. Nice. Gladiator. Linkin Park. Oh, yeah. I remember I played tennis with a kid. I was in the same team as him. And he would always listen to In the End by Linkin Park. And he would sleep between matches. He would nap. Because it was Saturday morning competition. And he would obviously not be a morning person. So he'd play a match and then he'd fall asleep and have a nap. And then he'd wake up and play the next one. Crazy times. But yeah, I remember he loved Linkin Park In the End. He loved it. That was his theme song. As we're going to find out from Eala, that goes long. And it's advantage Kostyuk, Hotmail, MySpace. That was sort of the end of the 2000s, all right? Yeah, Eminem. I remember Eminem was crazy back in like 2002. Eminem was going nuts. Tamagotchis. Oh, man. MTV Cribs. Oh, man. All right, advantage Kostyuk. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Kostyuk with the break point. First game of the match. Serve to the back and the Kostyuk return goes into the forehand of Eala. Kostyuk on the stretch. Eala comes in with a volley, but Kostyuk gets it with a pass, but it's in the net. We're back to deuce. Still have Hotmail? Yeah. Hotmail turned into like Outlook, right? I can't remember much of the early 2000s. I was a toddler. Fair enough. All right, back to deuce. Didn't we have this conversation already? No, we talked about the 90s. Now we're talking about the 2000s. All right, Eala serves. Fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Kostyuk. Good return. Eala gets there but hits in the net, and Kostyuk gets another break point. Advantage Kostyuk to take the break. Now, you got to remember, I know we're all saying, oh man, it's so late. We have to stay up so late for this match. But you got to remember the players have also been hanging around all day. Like they might have got there like around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe. Or maybe even, 3 o'clock in the afternoon to practice and get ready. But these two ladies have had to wait all day as well. And it's 10 p.m. and they're just getting started. As it a 4-0 from Eala, that is on the line. Great shot.
Unbelievable.
And we get the deuce. Is Cam old? I'm 77 years old. So the answer is no. Definitely not. Lincoln Park will always be iconic. Oh, yeah. As it a serve now, the backhand of Kostyuk. Backhand now from Eala. Off the tape goes in. Kostyuk's going to get there. And then Eala with a slice. Goes long. Good hustle by Kostyuk, and it's advantage Kostyuk. You know what? I came over the radio the other day when I was driving home from the city. They were talking about Good Charlotte, and I was like, holy shit. Good Charlotte was like on repeat. It was on repeat back in the 2000s. At least in my headphones. Good Charlotte was just on repeat. Advantage Kostyuk. That and Green Day. Green Day was on repeat. Not in my headphones. That was my brother was listening to Green Day. And I had Good Charlotte on. All right, advantage Kostyuk. It's the longest 10-minute game. If we go like this, it's going to be a long match. You have to call in sick to work. Kostyuk in the net and the return. We're back to deuce. Paramore for me. Oh, I saw Paramore in concert. They were great. I was like 3 rows from the front. Sick. Fall Out Boy, sick. I love Fall Out Boy too. Pearl Jam, All right, deuce. The never-ending deuce. Yeah, that's it. I think it's a 5th deuce or 6th deuce. As the return goes back into Eala. Eala in the net. Advantage Kostyuk. Advantage Kostyuk. Watch Paramore here in the Philippines in 2015. Damn. Arsenal and Barcelona disappointed that Barca are out. Wait, what? Oh, shit. So Arsenal have to win, what? 3-1? As it a 4 now goes out by Eala. There's the first game. It's a break to Kostyuk. All right. Kostyuk breaks first game. So Raducanu's going 3 apparently. Is that what I'm reading? I'm glad we didn't watch that match because we would have had a massive collapse. Even though it seems like a pretty epic match. Raducanu's going to a third with Maya Joint. Good for I mean, I would have been torn in that match too because Joint's Australian and she's one of our greatest new hopes. So I'm glad I'm not watching that because I don't like watching Aussies and you guys don't like me watching Raducanu. So it would have just been a lot of complaining from both ends. So I'm glad we're watching this one where we're all happy. As Kostyuk serves. Into the forehand of Eala and Eala in the net. 15-love. Cam, did you stay awake or did you just wake up for this match? No, I stayed awake. I did not sleep. I stayed awake. 15-love. As a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Eala. Good return. Kostyuk gets over the slice. Eala backhand down the line. Kostyuk pass. Eala with a volley. Kostyuk pass. Eala with a volley. Kostyuk pass. Is a winner.
This is going to be on tennis TV, bro.
And it's 30-love. Now, is Kostyuk coached by her mum? Is she coached by her mum? Wedding Crashers movie, don't make them like that anymore. Yeah, I think those movies are after those, comedy died after that. As a return goes out by Eala, 40-love. The Hangover, Wedding Crashers. What else? Knocked Up. All those movies in the early 2010s. Some of that shit was hilarious. And then, This Is the End was sort of like the end of that comedy. And now they don't make them like that anymore. They don't do that anymore. All right, 40-love. 7th back, forehand of Eala. Eala hits wide. 2-love, Kostyuk. I love 90s movies, yeah. All right, 2-love, Kostyuk. First game took 10 minutes. Second game took 2 minutes. Eala serves. Into the backhand of Kostyuk. Eala with a forehand. Into the slice of Kostyuk. Eala comes in with a backhand cross court. Kostyuk with a pass in the net. Nice hitting there from Eala, and it's 15-love. Kostyuk has a Polish coach? Oh, who am I thinking of? Who gets coached by their mum? Is it, maybe I'm thinking Jastrzemska, maybe. As with a serve in the net from Eala, second serve. Have you seen Pleasantville? Stars Tobey Maguire, Reese Witherspoon, Paul Walker, late 90s, early 2000s film. Okay. As a return goes in the net from Kostyuk? No, it was a double fault. My bad. Double fault by Eala. 15-0. Serve goes into the backhand of Kostyuk. Forehand from Eala. Into the backhand of Kostyuk. As Eala forehand in the net. 15-30. And Eala just throwing her hands up there. Just not being able to get anything going at the moment. I'll tell you, this is probably the worst conditions for Eala as well because it's the slowest court. You know, Madrid was a little faster, which helps her game. But this is a much slower court, but it's also at night. As Kostyuk hits a lovely return winner 15-40. Like, if this was during the afternoon, maybe it would have been a slightly better, like slightly faster court. Slightly. But being at night, it's like Eala's going to have to really hit a lot of shots. And also, Kostyuk's in great form. I mean, Kostyuk nearly beat Sabalenka last week. So, yeah. I mean, it's a tough ask for Eala. I still think she'll win. It's WTA. 6-love first set's normal. Forehand goes into the backhand of Kostyuk. Eala into the forehand of Kostyuk, who hits another winner. 3-love. Kostyuk with the double break to start this match. Okay. All right. How we doing, chap? Kostyuk has a temper problem, but can play great when she's settled. Yeah. By the way, Must be very cold conditions because both players are like wrapped up at the change of heads. Coco and Eala are going to play doubles. Yeah, hopefully we can watch it. You know, it'd be good to watch. Just got to wait and see what the schedule does. But yeah, we might watch it. Hopefully. Eala and Pegula had the same game face. They always look tired and exhausted, but their games say otherwise. Okay. Fair enough. By the way, don't forget to like the video. We're almost at 400 likes, so appreciate that. But 3-1... Sorry, 3-love Kostyuk. Not sure if Eala deserves the hype she gets recently. She definitely does. She definitely deserves the hype. Chad, I feel like deserving hype. I mean, I don't know if that's even a thing. Like, if somebody's getting hype, it's because they've done something, right? Like, players don't just get hyped for doing zero. You know, Raducanu won the US Open, hype-worthy. Fonseca, one of the younger players to win an ATP title, hype-worthy. Eala going on an amazing run as a wild card, beating 3 Grand Slam champions in a row, hype-worthy. Like, I don't feel like anyone, like people that get hype, I don't think it's undeserved. Like, I can't even think of a player that gets hyped for doing zero. Like, who gets hyped for doing nothing? Like, who did nothing and then was hyped? It's always you do something crazy and then everyone talks about you. Like, Eala did nothing until Miami, right? If she was hyped, she would have been talked about before she did Miami. And she wasn't like she did nothing. She won a US Open Juniors back in 2022, right? But, like, it wasn't until Miami happened that everyone started to get excited. So you got to do something before you get the hype. So you got to do something. So I don't know. I mean, it's not hype, it's excitement. Yeah. I mean, Eala, I don't think people are hyping Eala up to win a slam yet, but it's excitement around a new player, a new young player who did an incredible thing in Miami. But yeah, I don't know if anyone, like, doesn't deserve hype. Like, I haven't really heard of a player that hasn't done anything and gotten hype. Maybe that was more back in the day. Like, players maybe got hyped like as a young up-and-coming player. Oh, there's a young player from America. Watch out. They're the next blah, blah, blah. And they hadn't done anything. But it feels like you usually do something and then the hype comes from that. 40 love. Otherwise, nobody talks about you until you do something. Yeah. As Kostyuk serves an ace, she's up 4 love. 4 love Kostyuk. They're showing the live video on the joint on YouTube. I thought it was copyright, but I guess not. No, it definitely is. It's definitely not. It's definitely illegal. But well, I would never risk that. But hey. Each their own. 4 love Kostyuk. Eala serves. Trying to get on the board here. Feast deserves Fonseca's level of hype, but Feast hasn't done anything as much as Fonseca has. Unfortunately, Feast has not done much compared to Fonseca. I know Feast has done. No, when I say not done much, yeah, he's won 500 events and he's done that, but he hasn't done anything on a grand stage yet. Feast will get hype though. If he beats an Alcaraz at a French Open or if he beats Sinner here or something, you know, but I mean, Mensic's got hype because he won a 1,000, you know. No. I didn't mean that Feast has done more. No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant Fonseca gets hyped because what he did in the Australian Open. And then also what he did after that, a little bit. Whereas Fils hasn't had that big moment on a grand stage yet. Like, chat, what is Fils' best Grand Slam win? I couldn't even tell you. He has beaten Zverev in Hamburg, but nobody watches Hamburg after Wimbledon. Or nobody watches clay after Wimbledon, right? Even though you could look and go, well, yeah, Fils has done a lot. But the world doesn't know who Fils is because he hasn't done it on the grand stage. You know what I mean? Like, the only way people are going to know who you are is if you do it on the Grand Slam. If you do it in a Grand Slam. Love 30. Or if you do it at a 1,000 level, like in Miami or Indian Wells, right? That's just the way it is. Casuals aren't watching 500 events in Tokyo. Like, that's just not how it works. People know Draper now. Exactly. Before, like, you know, maybe the US Open run, like, announced Draper. But I don't think anybody remembers Draper in the indoor hard courts when he was kicking ass. You know, maybe the British did, but that's it. Love 40, by the way. Kostyuk is looking for bagels. But she hits it out, and it's 15-40. So, yeah. So, I'm not saying that that Fonseca has done more than Fils or Fils has done less. I'm saying that Fils hasn't done anything on a grand stage yet. You know? Which will excite people to watch him. Like beating some big top 10 guy in an unexpected 5-setter, right? Like beating Sinner at the Slam would get him hype easily. 30-40, by the way. Beating Alcaraz at the French would get Fonseca hype. You know, would get Fils hype. Whereas Fonseca beats Rublev in that first round match, and we're going, oh shit. People were hearing about this guy, and then he did something crazy big, right? All right, 30-40. But, like, obviously, we know Fils, right? We watch tennis all the time. It's just the casual fan doesn't know who Fils is because he hasn't done anything when they've been watching. Back in on the stretch, as Kostyuk on the attack, hits it wide. We get the deuce. We get the deuce. You know. And Rune, right? Rune got hype early because he beat, you know, Djokovic in Paris and won a massive 1,000 title at like 19, right? So that got him hype, right? That's why Rune has been, again, maybe burdened by the fact that he did something so crazy so early. You know, whereas again, Fils hasn't done that. You know, again, not saying that Fils can't do that and he's not good. Just saying that that's why Fils doesn't get the attention that other players have got. As with a backhand return from Kostyuk, another break point. As with a backhand down cross court again to the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Kostyuk again, the backhand of Eala. As Kostyuk down the line, goes in the forehand of Eala cross court, the backhand slice of Kostyuk. Eala backhand, goes in the forehand of Kostyuk on the stretch. Eala with a volley, winner down the line. That was a tough shot. We'll get back to deuce. Fils will get hype in 2025, he's determined. Yeah, I have no doubt that by the end of the year, more people will know who Arthur Fils is. For sure. Like, casuals will know something. He'll do something. Most likely, it'll be something like, if he does something in France, he will get way more hype than if he does something at the US Open. Because being a Frenchman in France doing well there is very rare. It doesn't happen. French people don't do well at the French Open for whatever reason. So if Fils was to go on a French Open run, make the quarters, maybe beating someone along the way, that would be hype worthy, right? Like, let's say he plays a 5-setter against Alcaraz in the quarterfinals or something. That, even if he lost it, that would be remembered, right? That would be something that casuals would remember, and that would announce him for sure. Anyways, advantage Kostyuk as Eala hits a forehand again at the back of Kostyuk, and Kostyuk gets another win. Kostyuk is ripping winners. 5-love. 5-love bagel loading. All right. I need Fonseca to make a run at least 3 consecutive matches at a 500 level manifest, okay? Do you think Kyrgios is more famous for his temper than his talent? No. Kyrgios got hype, if we're talking about hype again, because he beat Nadal at Wimbledon. That's where Kyrgios's popularity. That's like he did that, right? And when he did that, and then obviously now that Keegs made the Wimbledon final, all that stuff. But again, Kyrgios didn't just come out of nowhere and was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be really good. Trust me." It was no, he did that thing, and then that's what made him, somebody to keep an eye on. Now, is his temper what people watch for now? I mean, I feel like 2022, he wasn't really that tempered. He was beefing with people, but he wasn't like as aggressive. Didn't seem like he was as like angry. Kostyuk is strong. She gave Sabalenka a hard time in Madrid. Yeah, she did. Raducanu doing well in the third. Yeah, she's up a break, right? She served for the match as well in the second, so to get through that one would be good for Raducanu. Did you watch the Osaka match? She hit 40 winners. Yep, we did. We watched it. It was very, very, it was very one-sided. All right, 5-love. Kostyuk serving for the set. And it'll return now from Eala. Drop shot Kostyuk in the net. Love 15. You think Eala can make a comeback? Well, look. WTA scores, anything could happen. You could lose 6-love and come back 6-love second set. So I wouldn't be counting out Eala until she's down like in the second. I mean, she could still come back and win this because that also happens. 5-love leads disappear too. Hey, Darren, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate that. Love 30. Thoughts on Osaka being the favorite against Badosa? That's because Badosa's injured. As it a backhand now to the forehand of Kostyuk. Eala gets it with a slice. Kostyuk comes in and puts away the forehand. Drive volley winner, 15-30. Yeah, Swiatek lost to 6-love last week and then won. Yeah, exactly. Against Keys. Remember how everyone in the second set was saying double bagel and then all of a sudden Swiatek won? But that's the queen of clay, so it's a little different. All right, 15-30. Good serve out wide. 30-0. I wonder if Eala's going to go play a challenger next week if she loses this match. Because there's 2 challengers coming up next week. One's in Italy and one's in France. So I wonder if she's going to do that or if she's going to take a week off and then go play a WTA 250. Or maybe play Strasbourg. Is she on Strasbourg list? Strasbourg's pretty stacky. I doubt she's going to go to Morocco. That seems a little out of the way. But maybe she goes to Strasbourg. Or she'll play challenger. 30-0. If she loses this match. We're still a long way away. Kostyuk with a serve. Into the back of Eala. Return the net. 40-30. Set point for Kostyuk to take the first set. And this has been... After the first game was 10 minutes, and it's been 20 minutes for the next 5. So, just shows how important that first game was. All right, 40-30. Kostyuk serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Eala. Backhand of Kostyuk into the front of Eala. As Kostyuk backhand down the line of the backhand of Eala off the tape and in the net from Eala. There's the bagel. 6-love Kostyuk to start this match. Okay. That is a start. Will another clay prince claim this title? I think we need to establish the princes of clay. Chat, who are the princes of clay? Who are the princes of clay? And when we say prince of clay, I think we need to establish what the hell we're talking about. Players that are trying, because the king of clay would come from whoever won the French, I think. Rafa's the god of clay. He is like he is the god of clay, right? He's not even a king. He's elevated above everyone. Alcaraz is the king because he just won the French. But who are like the princes of clay? Who are trying to dethrone Alcaraz to be king? 3 winners from Eala, 13 errors. 10 winners from Kostyuk and 7 errors. 3 out of 11 break points converted too. So a lot of breaks against Eala's serve. A lot of break points, I should say. Definitely Ruud. He is definitely on that list. Zverev is on the list too. Zverev and Ruud are definitely princes of clay. They're waiting for that throne. Dominic Thiem was the prince of clay. Like, actually, I think that's where the name came from. Because Rafa was the king and Thiem was the prince. Next in line, never got the throne, but was close. Draper? I feel like Draper's... If Draper does well this week, then he's probably in that conversation. But I don't think Draper's there after 1 week. Because, like, even though Madrid was a good run, we do all know that Madrid is not always accurate. So if Draper does well this week, though, quarterfinal or better, he's got to be a prince. Musetti's got to be almost a prince, right? Because Musetti's done really well this season. Rune, yeah, I'll put Rune as a prince. I think he could be a prince of clay. Yeah, Sasha. We've got Zverev. I mean, Sinner's got to be there just because he's world number 1 and he did well in clay, at the French last year. So you got to put Sinner as a potential heir to the throne. Tsitsipas. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, Tsitsipas has definitely been a prince of clay. He might have, dropped down a little bit. He might be he might be a duke or something. Somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, he's. I think Tsitsipas has definitely been a prince. I don't know if he's 2025 if he's a prince yet, but then he could prove this week that he should be remembered. Cerundolo might be a prince of clay too. Again, maybe on like a lower level than some of the other names, but Cerundolo might be in that conversation. Just depends how he does this week as Eala hits in net 15-0. Rublev, I think Rublev and Tsitsipas sort of in the same boat, right? They're like, they could do something well at the French, but they've definitely been princes of clay. All right, 15-0. There's a bit of let from Eala. And Eala serves again. Into the backhand of Kostyuk. Eala with the backhand into the forehand of Kostyuk. Again to the backhand of Eala. As Kostyuk forehand. Again to the backhand of Eala as Kostyuk goes with the forehand in the net. 30-15. Raducanu's up 4-love in the final set. I don't know if Feast is in that conversation yet. I feel like Feast and Draper this week will kind of confirm where we have them in that conversation of... Because when we say Prince of Clay, we're basically saying contenders at the French, right? That's the... we're just saying it in a fancy, fun way. Backhand lob into the forehand of Kostyuk, and then the lob from Eala goes wide, 30-0. We're basically saying, like, who could win the French? And I think we can all agree that Ruud, Sinner, Alcaraz, possibly Zverev, depending on this week, are all serious contenders. And then, Tsitsipas and Rublev have been contenders in the past. Maybe they could put it together. I probably need to see something from this week to kind of be confident with that. And then, Draper, I want to see do well this week, so then we can confirm that he is also a contender. Rune as well this week kind of determines whether or not because if he's injured, then how can we have confidence? So if Rune does well this week, then I think he also is considered in that contender conversation. Cerundolo, same with this week. I mean, Cerundolo might be like a bit of more of a dark horse pick. Musetti, he's had a good enough clay season that I would say that he would be a contender at the French, especially considering he did do well at the Olympics last year. 30-40, drop shot, Kostyuk in the net. Ooh, deuce. Now we get the deuce. There are no princess of clay right now for me. No, this is Iga and everybody else. As the backhand return goes long, and it's advantage Eala. Like, chat, I mean, we never have to have this conversation because it's always just the answer is Iga Swiatek. But who's going to win the French Open on the women's side if not Swiatek? I mean, nobody, right? Like, it's always Swiatek. It's just like, it can't be anyone else. Coco or Sabalenka, I mean, maybe. But like 4 of the last 5 years, it's been Swiatek. So it's like, how the hell do we pick someone else? Because when she goes to Roland Garros, she wins. And she demolishes players like Gauff there. And she beaten Sabalenka. She hasn't played Sabalenka there yet. But Sabalenka hasn't done traditionally well at the French over the years. She's lost, she made a semi-final once, but she lost, it's probably her worst slam by results. As we had a backhand now into the forehand of Eala, into the forehand of Kostyuk. Eala backhand, into the forehand of Kostyuk, and Eala just slipped a little bit, gave Kostyuk an easy open court winner. Advantage Kostyuk. Andreeva, yeah, but Andreeva hasn't really shown much this clay season. Like, chat, I mean, unless Eala does something in Rome, Eala hasn't shown much on clay. Penko's too streaky. Penko could make the final or lose first round. Muchova, if she shows something this week, maybe. All right, first serve a fault, second serve. Krejcikova. I don't think Krejcikova is going to play. Her back injury seems a little too tough. Backhand return from Kostyuk's a winner. There's the break. 7 games in a row for Kostyuk. I think this court is exposing Eala's serve. I think that's what we're witnessing today. Is Eala's serve? We saw it. It got broken a lot in Miami, but she could make up for it with returns. But when she's playing on a slow court and her ground strokes are not as dangerous, this seems to be what might happen. So the good thing is that the clay season is over in like 4 weeks, right? So Eala doesn't have to play on clay after 4 weeks. But if your serve's not super strong and you're playing on a slow court and your ground strokes aren't as punchy, then this could happen, right? I feel like this is, and look, we know this coming into the clay court season. I think this is like, if we're talking about Eala, this is her worst court and her worst conditions. Playing on a slow nighttime clay court where her serve is vulnerable and her ground strokes are not aggressive and it doesn't work. And then you put in the fact that you're playing against somebody who should be seeded at this event, but missed out on the seeds because the rankings were out wrong or were out at the wrong time. And also someone who is in great form after last week. I mean, it's a disaster. So, but yeah. I feel like Eala on a slow clay court at night, that is her worst. They are the worst conditions for her. Because I don't think she's played at night. In Madrid, she played during the day both times, which was a warmer and faster court anyway. And then even over in when she went and played that other event, in the Challenger event, she played during the day. It was wet, but she played during the day. Whereas this is this is what, 10:30 p.m. Slow clay, and it's just not working. But that's okay because you don't have to be a good clay courter to be a good player. We get her on the Wimbledon fast grass, or put her on the American hard courts. Watch her in Cincinnati. I can't wait to see her. Eala in Cincinnati could be a thing. That could be dangerous. Anyways, that goes to the net from Kostyuk, 15-0. 15-0. I expected more from Eala because she comes from the Rafa Academy. Yeah, people get confused. The Rafa Academy is like this clay court factory. It's got a bunch of hard courts. And yeah, it's got clay courts and they learn how to play on clay, but it's not a clay courter's paradise that spawns all these clay courters. the people that go there don't always come out and become clay courters. It's not they've got so many hard courts, and I'm sure that majority of the year they play on hard courts because they're easy to, they're not as hard to maintain. Whereas clay courts, the maintenance on that is can be crazy. Yeah, Ruud came out of the Rafa Academy as well, and so did Popper and so did Musetti. No, sorry, Popper and Musetti came out of the Mouratoglou Academy with Tsitsipas. But, yeah, don't get it confused. Just because Rafa Nadal's name's on the building doesn't mean it's a clay court. Clay court is, factory. 30-15. Is it a forehand from Eala down the line to the forehand of Kostyuk? Eala backhand into the slice of Kostyuk as Eala hits a slice down the line. Kostyuk's backhand goes again the back of Eala, and Eala hits it wide, and it's 40-15. To be fair, it produced Ruud, which is mostly copied Rafa. Yeah, but that, again, okay. But also, Eala is not... it didn't... must have passed a lot more tests on the hard courts. Like I said, you don't have to be a good clay courter to be a good player. As Kostyuk gets the 2-love. All right. 2-love. By the way, Potapova and Yastremska are in a match. Also, Raducanu serving for the match. 5-1 in the second against Joint. In the third against Joint. Thanks for explaining that. Yeah, it's just the last time we talked about Eala coming from the Rafa Academy, everyone had the same thing where it's like, oh, well, Rafa Academy must be clay because Rafa's clay, and but they have a lot of hard courts there. Like it's not. Yeah, it just because it's Rafa Nadal doesn't mean that they only train clay courters. That you automatically are a clay courter. Because it does. Look, I can understand too. I thought the same thing. Like, oh, Rafa Nadal Academy, yeah, everyone must be good on clay. It's like, well. It's an academy of tennis courts. There's a lot of hard courts, Love 30. And we saw a record anyway. Eala's record on clay wasn't great coming in to this season. And that's okay. Eala will be so much better when we go back to America. Even the Asian swing. The Asian swing could be somewhere where she could thrive too. Beijing, Wuhan. Those tournaments could be somewhere where she could do some damage. As that goes in the net from Kostyuk, 15-30. Eala's not that good, honestly. Yeah, she's not that good on a slow clay court at night against a clay courter or like a competent clay courter. Yeah. Hands with a serve. It's a fault from Eala, second serve. You still picked her to beat Kostyuk too? Oh, here we go. It's day one, and we're going to start like this. 15-30. Alex is overrated. Okay, you're overrated. I was being nice in my response, and now you're just being a dick. As that goes for a double fault. And it's 15-40. 15-40. Chance to get the break. Again, Kostyuk as the return goes into the backhand of Eala. Kostyuk with a forehand again at the backhand of Eala. And as Kostyuk slice down the line, Eala with a forehand cross. Cross backhand in the net by Kostyuk. It's 30-40. 30-40. Don't get cam activated. Yeah, I've been up all night to watch this match. So the last thing I need is some of you coming in here telling me what I predicted, because I don't need that shit. I stayed up all night to watch this match, so I don't need you to tell me what I predicted, because I made the damn video. I told you, I remember editing that video. You don't need to tell me what I said. I know what I said. 30-40. I don't need you to remind me. As the backhand goes in, the forehand of Kostyuk. To the backhand of Eala. Kostyuk. Forehand again to the backhand of Eala as Kostyuk with a forehand into the backhand of Eala. In the forehand of Kostyuk as Eala with the forehand of the stretch. Goes in the net. It's 3-love. The prediction was awful. Okay, Eala. You're like you're just some critiquer. You're just like, oh, I'm, twisting your mustache. Oh, yeah, you're like a food critic. You're like a food critic. You never cooked a meal in your life and you're coming in here and you're like a food critic. Yeah, and Arsenal's losing, well, you can get stuff with yourself as well. You're just coming in here being like, no, I don't think your predictions are very good. Bro, you didn't even pick anyone. I'm looking at your chats. You didn't even pick anyone. Why don't you have some balls and actually give me your predictions before the match starts? No. God forbid you do something. Zero. Like, hello? You asked me who Swiatek's playing. You're not even talking about this match. But no, you sit back and just, oh, Cam, your predictions are so terrible. Oh, how could you have picked such a bad result? Okay, bro, next time I do a prediction, I want to see your prediction. Tomorrow, you be here and you predict something. You put your words on the line. Sick of this shit, chat. I stayed up all night. Go look at the comment section. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you just comment on the video, did you? Did you edit your comment, did you? You changed it, did you? Double bagel, you said, eh? Doesn't matter anyway. Come back to us now. And Mia's just looking at me like, what are you doing, you idiot? Mia, I don't know. Mia, they're making fun of me. Tell them something. Tell them to get stuffed. Tell them to get stuffed. Mia, defend me. Defend me. Yeah, she's tired, Chad. Leave her alone. I picked Kostyuk. Oh, did you now? Oh, that's convenient. Yeah, I picked. Yeah, so did I. Delete the video. Yeah, I picked her too. Delete the video. Yeah, I picked her too. What a coincidence. 15 love. As Kostyuk serves. Did Raducanu win? Oh, God, she keeps getting broken. As we get to 30 love, Kostyuk serving really strong today. All right, 30 love. As Kostyuk serves again. Emma can't close the match. Doesn't have killer instinct. She's up 5-2. I think she'll be fine. As the backhand now goes to the forehand of Kostyuk. Forehand from Eala. Kostyuk backhand. Eala with the volley. Kostyuk's got it though. Puts it away. 40 love. 40 love. You think Eala needs to improve her serve? I think that's probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest thing. She needs to just get her serve to be a little bit less vulnerable. Some people in here with some crazy takes. Yeah, everyone has been up all night, so, people lose their minds. 40-15. Dog cam, really? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't like my dog? What are you questioning dog cam? Well, you're not a fan? What's wrong with my dog? What, you don't want to see my dog? Dog cam, really? Yeah, really. It's real. She's asleep, so shh. 4-15. As the serve goes in the net, second serve. Second serve. As the return goes to the forehand of Kostyuk, and Kostyuk puts away. 4 love. 4 love. Hey, Angela, thank you for gifting memberships to Silva, Damon, Casey, Andre, and Rushan. Appreciate that. Thank you for gifting the memberships. All right. Ah, 4 love. As Eala hits it to the front of Kostyuk. Backing out from Eala. Kostyuk hit it long. 15 love. I never get a membership. You're probably not here enough. 15 love. $15 love. As the other serves a let. Serve again. $15 love. Just serve now the back end of Kostyuk. Return goes in the forehand of Eala. Kostyuk with a forehand. Into the forehand of Eala as Kostyuk with the backhand is a winner. 15-all. 15-all. By the way, next person who says good prediction sarcastically, and I see that you didn't predict anyone, I'm going to send you to the moon. I feel like that is fair. You can come at me if you said Kostyuk is going to win, and I will take that because you are smarter than me. But if you come in here and you say, oh, nice one, Cam, you predicted the wrong player today, and I look at your chat record and it says nothing, and you didn't say nothing, you are taking a one-way trip to the moon sponsored by Elon Musk. 30, or Jeff Bezos, I don't know, one of those billionaire guys who do make spaceships. 30-15. Because I'm sick of this. I'm taking a stand. I'm taking a stand, chat. I'm putting my foot down. I have been bullied for too long. I've been bullied for too long by you, chat. And I'm not taking it anymore. 40-15. First serve is a fault. Second serve. I am sick of being bullied. 40-15. There's a bit of serve into the forehand of Kostyuk, but Kostyuk in the net. All right, 4-1. Eala gets the game. Come back to us now. Come back to us now. All right. How we doing, chap? Nice one, Cam. You predicted the wrong player today. Yeah, bro, you didn't even say anything. Who are you? And what do you do for work? Like, who are you? Hello? You just said Alex is not overrated, and then you just had to go at me. You didn't even predict anyone, brother. You had Krejcikovic to win Wimbledon. Thank you. Thank you very much. I at least somebody remembers. But we've got a lot of goldfish in the chat that are just, oh, did you, oh, wait, but, yeah. Great names doing great. Yeah. By the way, if Eala comes back to win this in 3, I'm going to throw a parade. Picking a Czech woman for Wimby is smart. Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't give me credit. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, because you picked Krejcikovic too, didn't you? Yeah. You picked her during the third round, like I did, right? Right? Yeah. Because it was obvious when she was playing against Collins, right? Krejcikovic was obviously going to win. You didn't. Well, thank you for being honest. See, chat, I've been up all night, all right? It's been a long night. Hey, Angela, thank you for the 4 months as a legend tier 3 member. Appreciate that. Jake Gyllenhaal just ran past you in Central Park? Holy shit. That's so cool. That's actually really cool. Was he wearing headphones? By the way, the seagulls have invaded the stadium. They're eating the food because there's no one in the stands, which is sad. 4-1. Kostyuk still got a double break, and she won the first set. There's a let from Kostyuk. Cam, people are saying Alcaraz won't win a slam this year. Do you think so? Yes, he will win a slam this year. I mean, Carlos Alcaraz? Of course he will. Come on. As with a forehand now to the backhand of Eala. Forehand now from Kostyuk. Again, the backhand of Eala. It's Kostyuk. Down the line. Eala puts a forehand short. And Kostyuk puts it away. God, Kostyuk is playing really well. Like, if we're going to be real about this. Yeah, Eala's serve has been, Eala's serve has been a little bit shaky. But, God, Kostyuk has not held back. Hey, thank you, Beta, for the 5 months. Appreciate it. There's a bit of fault from Kostyuk. Second serve. Raducanu really about to blow the lead. Well, she's at 5-3. And the backhand from Kostyuk goes in the backhand of Eala. Eala in the net. 30 love. Sabalenka has changed her game. She's coming up with some great net volleys. Yeah, she could always volley, right? Because she had that doubles experience, but it's good to see her putting more variety into her game. Backhand return from Eala goes to the back of Kostyuk. Oh, Kostyuk nearly fell over. She recovers, but it's sliced in the net. 30-15. And Eala just checking if she's all right. 30-15. All right, serve again. Why did Bencic retire? I don't know why she did. Not sure. Not sure what happened with Bencic. 40-15. Kostyuk for a 5-1 lead in the second. And I think Raducanu just won. First serve was a fault by Kostyuk. Second serve. As the return goes out by Eala. 5-1. Kostyuk in the second. 1 hour played. All right. 5-1 Kostyuk. Are we going to cover Badosa versus Osaka tomorrow if it happens? Yes. We will. That is the plan. And also, we will also watch other matches tomorrow. All right. Eala serving to stay in the matches. With a backhand return from Kostyuk, the back forehand of Eala. Eala hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. So to serve into the forehand of Kostyuk. Return goes to the forehand of Eala. Kostyuk forehand into the forehand of Eala. To the backhand of Kostyuk. As Eala again to the backhand of Kostyuk. Eala forehand again to the backhand of Kostyuk. As Eala forehand down the line. Kostyuk gets it with the forehand cross into the backhand of Eala. Again the forehand of Kostyuk. Eala backhand again to the forehand of Kostyuk. It's a slice, but it's long. 15-0. Yeah, Swiatek plays tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, all the good matches are early, in my humble opinion. Today was awkward because the match we watched at the start of the day was fun, and then the matches at the end of the day were the good ones, and in the middle it was kind of just a bit of random. Are we covering for the second tomorrow? Probably, yeah. We'll try. I mean, tomorrow's going to be tough because all the good matches are crammed at the start of the day. But we'll see. We'll see what we see. As a backhand from Eala into the forehand of Kostyuk. Eala backhand. Again, the forehand of Kostyuk. Down the line to the forehand of Eala on the stretch. Kostyuk comes in, puts it away. Kostyuk's just been relentless. 15-30. 15-30. Paolini versus Sun is on tomorrow as well. Yeah. Emma versus Alexandrova trilogy. Yeah, that's going to be fun. That'll be in a couple of days. All right, 15-30. As a return from Kostyuk into the front of Eala. Kostyuk 4-1 on the stretch. Eala's going to get there with the backhand. As Kostyuk drop shot. Eala's going to get there with a slice, but it's in the net, 15-40. Kostyuk is just red hot. After last week and then coming in here with this clay court abilities, I mean, it's just been just so one-sided. 15-40. Kostyuk to play, I think, Kazakhina in the second round. No. Maybe Dasha. No. I don't know. I'll tell you after this. 15-40. Serve to the back of the Kostyuk. Return is long. Pff, she went for it. 30-40. Match point number 2. Oh, it is Dasha? Fuck. I mean, damn it. Return goes into the front of Eala. Eala hits it out. There's the match. Oh, shout out order. Can Kostyuk not play Dasha, please? Too good. Kostyuk way too good. And I think we all, again, we're learning about Eala, and this is probably her least preferred conditions and surface and kind of opponent. You know, someone who can attack her serve. Kostyuk's just red hot right now. 6-love, 6-1. And she is into the second round. But Eala's still playing doubles with Gauff, so there's still that to be had. All right. All right. GG's. We're learning about Kostyuk too. Can she beat Sabalenka? I mean, we know about Kostyuk. I mean, she made the final of Stuttgart last year. She made the final quarterfinals of Madrid last week. I mean, we know that on clay, Kostyuk is a threat. But we'll see what happens. People getting photos. Now they're playing doubles with Gauff. She doesn't shake hands. What are you talking about? She literally just shook her hand. It's confirmed the night clay matches are going to be her nightmare. Too slow and off timing. I agree. And also her serve is just a little. Again, it's not. Her serve isn't quite up to. Her serve is not working. As well as it probably should. Again, she's not perfect. Eala's going to get better. Going to be opportunities. And I think hard courts are going to be where we see her best tennis. We saw that the other week, or the month. Eala should skip Palmer as she did Catalonia. She needs one. Should not skip Palmer. Oh, okay. But Eala is in the French Open main draw, right? Yeah, she is, yeah. But, I wouldn't expect Eala to make, the second week of the French. Hype for Fonseca, win or lose? Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun. Pegula is number 2 in the live rankings. Yep. Heartbreaking for Eala. Look, I wouldn't be too bothered by this result. If you're an Eala fan, I mean, yeah, you stayed up all night. It sucks, but I wouldn't be too bothered. Again, she's not a clay courter. It's not going to be her. She's not going to win. This year is not going to be her French Open victory. So yeah, I wouldn't be. Eala, by the way, taking photos and signing autographs despite losing, classy act, very classy. Yeah, but I wouldn't be too worried about Eala. If this was on a hard court, that would be a little bit more devastating, but not a clay court against somebody who's in form on clay. It's fine. I wouldn't be too concerned. I watched Sabalenka Kostyuk. And Kostyuk victory was sort of expected. Yeah. I was optimistic. I'm excited to see her on grass. Yeah, I want to see how Eala does on grass as well. Eala is someone who's in very good form. Agree. We all want Swiatek's old coach back, but let's wait for Wimbledon. Okay. Kostyuk is younger than Swiatek, and she has said that she hoped her current coach would be her coach at the end of her career. Cool. Don't know what that's got to do with Swiatek, but that's cool. What is slower, Rome or the French? They're both similar. Feel sorry for Eala. Hope this doesn't bring her down much. She can always improve. Yeah. It'll be a confidence dent, but I don't think it's going to be... I don't think it's devastating. It's not a devastating loss, you know. She just got outplayed, overpowered. Will Eala drop in the WTA rankings? Maybe slightly, but again, not really. The doubles might help. Yeah, I mean, playing doubles with Gauff will be an experience. So Eala is currently ranked number 64. She actually went up 6 spots despite losing. Despite losing, she went to 64 in the world. So yeah, she got a boost in the rankings, even though she lost. So there you go. So will it affect her ranking? No, we're not in a bad way. I'm worried for Dasher against Kostyuk in the next round. Yeah, you and me both. I'm scared. All right. Well, that was a long night. Thanks for sticking around. We'll be back tomorrow to do more tennis. Actually, we'll be back in like 12 hours to do more tennis. So I'm going to go sleep, and then I'm going to wake up and do it all again. Tomorrow's going to be not as late of a night, so, well, at least I don't plan it to be late, unless it rains. But, yeah, tomorrow will be Swiatek's playing, Fonseca is playing, Osaka is playing, Paolini is playing. Yeah. Cam, don't be silly. You want to see her anywhere and everywhere. Doesn't matter in Grand Slams. But yeah, Milovan, I don't know why you always complain about who I watch. You're like the number one complainer. You don't like who I watch, and then when I do watch the players you want to watch, you just complain about why we don't watch Raducanu. So I don't know, like, bro, I feel like you need to get over it. Because it's a bit repetitive. And I think the chat would agree that it is repetitive. Yeah, and we have a rule. Don't complain about the players we watch. Or don't watch. So please, respect the rules. What country am I in? I am in Australia, and it's 7 a.m. 7 o'clock in the morning. Eala's fans hope you will cover her doubles. We might watch her doubles. It just depends on the scheduling. So yeah. Yeah, see people in the chat know. Kostyuk is a power player. Yeah. It's huge hitting today. But yeah, tomorrow, more tennis. Just stay tuned and we'll watch whatever. But Kostyuk too good. Kostyuk too good. Takes out Eala in straights and barely gives up any games. 6-love, 6-1. Kostyuk plays Dasher in the next round, which sucks for me, but we'll see. We might watch that. I don't know if I can handle it, but we'll see. And Eala will play doubles with Gauff, so it's not over yet for her. But too good. Kostyuk, she's on a bit of a run at the moment. Let's see how far she can go here.